One of my favorite go-to meals is a frittata. If you don't know what a frittata is, it's basically like a big egg dish that's mixed together with different ingredients, and you can use anything you want, vegetables, meat, herbs, kind of whatever you have in the vegetable drawer you need to use up. You can throw it in with some eggs and bake it, and you got a frittata. In this recipe, I've chosen cremini mushrooms. They have a little bit more flavor than just a white button mushroom, but they're really easy to work with. A good tip for cleaning mushrooms is to just take a wet paper towel and brush off your mushrooms. You want to get off all the dirt, but you don't want to get them soggy and wet because they absorb a lot of moisture. After you got your mushrooms cleaned, give them a quick slice and set them aside. Then you're going to prep your spinach. I take a few handfuls of spinach and just run the knife through it a few times for a quick, coarse chop. We're looking for about 3 cups of chopped spinach. The last thing you're going to do is slice up half of an onion, brown onion, white onion, probably not red, but whatever you want to use. An easy way to cut an onion is to take the onion and slice it through the root end. And while the root end is still attached, slice horizontally across the onion. Now we're going to saute all those fresh ingredients. You're going to heat a tablespoon of oil and some butter in a wide skillet. You're going to add the onions and cook them for just like 2 minutes. Then we're going to add all those sliced mushrooms. It's going to seem like a lot at first, but remember, they really cook down once the moisture gets out of them. We'll saute those for about 5 to 6 minutes. Try not to over stir. If you just let them sit for a few minutes and then give them a stir, they get a really nice brown crusty color on them. Once the onions and the mushrooms are cooked, you're going to turn off the heat and just toss the chopped spinach over the top of the mushrooms and onions. Give it a stir, and the heat that's already on the mushrooms and onions is going to perfectly wilt that spinach, and then you're done. You're going to take the skillet and set it aside for a few minutes, let it cool slightly while we're preparing the eggs and the cheese for the next part of the frittata. To the eggs, we're going to add a little cheese. The whole recipe calls for a cup of cheese, but we're going to put half in the egg mixture and save half to sprinkle over the top later. Then we're going to add our spinach and mushroom and onion mixture to the eggs and stir it really well so it's perfectly incorporated throughout the egg. So you're going to cook your frittata in about a 9-inch skillet. You want to make sure that skillet is oven-proof, like no plastic handles, no Teflon coating, so that it can go under the broiler. It's a very important step, otherwise your handle is going to end up melting. We're going to melt some butter into that oven-proof skillet and swirl it around the side so that the cheese and eggs don't stick while it's cooking. You're going to pour in the egg, spinach, mushroom mixture, and just give it a little stir right when you get it in the bowl, and then you're just going to leave it. Loosely cover the top and let it sit for like 5 minutes. You're looking for the eggs to set about 3/4 of the way through. So after your eggs are mostly set, still wet in the middle, you're going to sprinkle the last of that cheese over the top. You're going to take your skillet and place it under the broiler, which is going to cook your eggs and cheese from the top, and it'll give the cheese a nice brown crust. It's really delicious and beautiful to look at. So after it's cooled off for just a couple minutes, I slide it out of the pan onto a cutting board, cut it into wedges, and it's ready to serve. So that's my hearty, delicious mushroom frittata. Really excited for you guys to give it a try, and I'd love to hear what you think of it.